Stress is not bad or good. It's all dependent on the situation. Stress is simply your body being out of balance, trying to mobilize itself to get back into balance. So for example, if you are in present danger of a threat, let's say you are on a hike and you see a snake, your stress response is going to give you that fight or flight response so that you can run away or somehow deal with that threat. And then once you're clear of that threat, your stress response turns off, and then your relaxation and recovery response turns on. And so stress is about the context of the situation you're in. Short-term stress, like exercise or cold water exposure, these things are good for you. They actually make you more resilient to long-term stress. But it's when we have stress that goes unresolved, that we don't deal with in a timely manner, that it goes from short-term acute stress into long-term chronic stress. And long-term chronic stress is what we want to avoid. Because if you're always living in a state of stress, well, number one, it doesn't feel good. But number two, it is what makes us vulnerable to disease. I posted a video the other day about Dr. Joe Dispenza saying how long-term stress pushes the genetic buttons that make you vulnerable to disease, that make it more likely you're going to be sick. And it impairs your cognitive function, your physical abilities. And so in the modern world, when we're not trying to run away from lions and tigers and bears, we have to deal with things like bills, with social media comments, with frustrating work emails. And so we need different tools to deal with that. Whether that's floating, whether that's meditation, journaling, all sorts of different ways that we can kind of take us out of that fight or flight response. And it's important that we recognize we need different tools and practices for modern day stressors. So if you are suffering from stresses that are more digital in nature, that are more emotional in nature, do some of the things we're talking about. Get outside for a walk, do some breath work, do some meditation, get in for a float, and you'll find that you'll be able to be more resilient towards long-term stress. So that's it for today. Hope you enjoyed.